look inside the Superdome here in New Orleans. Today we've got a matchup here in pivotal Week 7 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New Orleans Saints. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. And we will not get a run back here to start. It's a touchback, and it will come out to the 25.
Okay, ready?
They start the drive with Cook. And that's not the start that he was looking for, as he's going to be met and dropped behind the line. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
This defense is a difficult one to prepare for, one of the best in the league. They'll come at you from all angles, and they did a nice job there stopping him for a loss.
The opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. Running off tackle with Cook. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. Well, this defense for the Seahawks, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And one of the key things you always look for when you're evaluating a defense is how opportunistic are they? How many takeaways do they get per game? And how about last week's game? That number? 6. Absolutely phenomenal performance. They were on top of their game right from the first snap.
Little trouble thus far on their opening drive as they come up on a 3rd and 11. He'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
They punted 3 times in the loss last week as he sends this one away. Fielded at about the 28. It'll be a 10-yard return following a punt of 45. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10 at their 38. They'll run with Walker to begin the drive. And some room to work. And he finally goes down, but not before reaching the 21. Back to Walker on 1st down. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
On 2nd down, it's Walker. 59 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Here we go now on 1st and goal. Walker is in. Touchdown, Seattle. So both sides of the football contributing here early. Their defense forces the punt, and then the offense takes it down the field and punches it in on the short touchdown run.
And, Brandon, that's good complementary football, and that's what they're going to need if they want to get out of here victorious.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And this will give the Seahawks a 7-0 lead.
Makes the score Seahawks 7, Saints 0.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost. Taking it right down Broadway. The 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. I don't think you can get any more efficient or tidy, whatever word you want to use in that. Man, one play, 75 yards, end zone.
Yeah, efficient, tidy, excellent words. How about explosive? 75 yards, one play. That means everyone handled their assignment, doesn't it? It doesn't just mean that the defense broke down. They really executed the way that was drawn up on the whiteboard. Big-time play, big-time result.
So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. And he'll just take a seat, and the drive will begin at the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. The offense running out, and they are charged up, ready to go after reaching the end zone on their last drive.
And normally I'd warn against getting complacent just because they scored the last time out. But I don't think there's any worries with this group right now. This is a hungry group, and they want to keep building off of their last drive. Now they just want the officials to hurry up and place the ball so they can snap it and get back to work.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. He was well over 100 yards last week. He told us this week, a little ambitious, said he wants to hit that 200 mark. We'll see.
Makes sense, though, doesn't it? Have we ever run into a running back that had a great game the week before that didn't think that's just going to naturally continue? Just make sure you feed me the football. And that's what they're all about. Continuity, rhythm, number of carries. Just keep giving it to them.
They tried to throw on 2nd down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. They'll try for the first with Walker. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off.
4th and short in this part of the field. You just notice special teams coordinators rallying the team saying, watch the fake, but Brandon, don't they usually say that on every punting situation?
Oh, yeah, they can be up 40 in the 4th quarter. That's their job. They scream that every time.
And this time, though, his team locked in, and they were well aware that it truly was a situation that they could fake it, and they were ready for it and stopped it.
And they're going to get this down to about the 37. In need of only about the length of the football here on 2nd down. Up the middle, it's Cook. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. The Saints sitting at a very solid 4-2 record through the first 6 weeks. Well, they were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Points 1, 2, and 3 in their defensive game plan was to get to the quarterback and knock the ball free. They did it there. Luckily, offense hangs on to it.
Yeah, that's got to serve as a wake-up call, though, because they can't afford to let the ball go over to the defense and miss opportunities. And I'm not saying it happened here, but you know what a good rule of thumb is when a play like that occurs? occurs, you know who usually recovers it? The guy who missed his block and let his quarterback get hit.
He'll drop to throw. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Tariq Woolen picks it, and the Seahawks are going to take over at their own 11-yard line. A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
93 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they'll pay dividends as the game progresses.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. 10 yards and a Seattle first down.
And it is still early, just the first quarter. But you start prorating the numbers, and we might be in for some history. I mean, that last run puts him over 100 yards already, and we've still got 3 quarters to go.
On first down, Lance. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And the Saints are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line. So consecutive interceptions here early on in this one, and maybe setting the tone, Charles, for a game where the defense really takes center stage.
And don't you think that both offenses are really catching the bit from their coaching staff about avoiding these turnovers that we've seen early? I think both teams are trying to find an advantage. We know that. Can one of them break away and take control of this game?
Brings up second and 5. 52 blasted.
On second down, Cook. Now they're going to be dealing with a 3rd and 7. Is that one officially a loss of 1?
Not sure if he was looking for a cutback lane or whether he was trying to get to the corner, but he didn't find either. And they ended up forcing him out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. A rough go there on 3rd down, a loss of 4.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
And how about this, a fake? And this is caught. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A big breakdown defensively there on the fake punt. Turns into a huge play and a first down. And I don't know what the method is to know when to dial up a fake punt, when not to. Whatever the method there, it worked for him.
I think you actually did explain it. There is no method. It's just a feel, a sense, and a healthy dose of guts in order to call that play in that situation.
Element of surprise, I guess, right?
Yeah, element of surprise and just a strong belief that, hey, we're going to get it done.
Touchdown, New Orleans! James Cook with his 9th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Saints have taken the lead. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And that makes the score 14-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And we'll see if they can bounce back from that last drive. In particular, if they can bounce back at the quarterback position, Charles, after throwing their first interception of the ball game.
Yeah, some guys, you know they're going to want to try and get a big play right away and take control back. Others, they're going to look at a couple shorter passes, get a little momentum back that way.
But for the defense, that goal's not changing a bit. They want another pick.
You're exactly right about that. In fact, you've got to watch them a little bit because in coverage, they may cut down their gaps a little bit, maybe their splits a little bit in order to try and get to the ball even faster.
Escaping the pressure right. And that will be incomplete. They couldn't hook up on what's going to be the final play of this first quarter. Through one quarter, 14-7. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Here's Lance. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. So after 3 drives and 3 touchdowns combined between these two clubs, finally we get a defensive stop.
Yes, and welcome to the party, defensive players, and glad to have you because for a while there, it almost felt like it was 11 going downfield on air. Okay, so to be able to have someone come up, make a stop, now we got a football game going.
The Saints take over first and 10 at their own 37-yard line. Understand?
Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. And as the offense begins another drive here, pretty simple, Charles. They want to carbon copy what happened the last time out when they ended their drive in the end zone.
You're right about that, partner. Sounds pretty simple, doesn't it? Just score again, but we know it's not that simple because we don't just make adjustments at halftime if you're a good football team. You spend that time on the sideline, you study what's on the notes and the tablets, and you make those adjustments to prevent a repeat of the last drive. Series to series, the best teams, that's how they get it done.
And we'll find out here soon enough whether those adjustments are enough defensively. First down, here's the run with Cook. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
They go play action here on first down. And that is incomplete.
We know he has a lot of confidence in his arm and likes to force it downfield, but the coverage was tight there. Fortunate it wasn't picked off.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down. Back to throw here. And Cook has it left side. And he'll be brought down at the 27.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. You're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They'll look to throw again. That is caught. Westbrook's got it. And a pretty nice tackle there, ranging up from his free safety spot as he'll stop him about a yard short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. Fourth down.
That was a heck of an effort to stop him just short of the marker, but now they're going to need another big play on fourth down on defense, I believe, because offensively, they went from 3rd and long to now it's a go situation here on 4th and inches.
And it's going to be batted down, and we'll go the other way with the football. Well, their first fourth down attempt earlier was successful. This one backfires for a turnover on downs.
I like their aggressiveness. I like what they're doing. They got it the first time they went for it. Why not a second time? I don't think they'll be daunted from attempting it again. If you're on the defensive side of the ball, though, any fourth down stop is a big momentum play.
And he'll be forced out of bounds on the other side of the field. 146 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here this first half.
Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
His first half struggles continue. He has yet to complete a pass. Hard to believe.
It is, because I don't see anything wrong with him physically. Maybe he's a little amped up to begin with, but I thought he would have settled down by now. I think someone's got to get in his ear, got to be a psychologist a little bit, and get him back on track.
A good job of finding the open space to run as he's down close to the 30 here. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Shotgun now for Lance. And this one is incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Lance to throw it. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
That play call wasn't there for them against that coverage. So they're going to spin the dial now in their playbook and come up with one more shot at the marker to try and keep this series going.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Lance. And he will not make it to that imaginary yellow line as they get him to the ground at about the 23. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
That looked great when he first took off because, in my mind, there was room to run, and he had the marker in his sight. But I certainly didn't expect him to close so quickly, and neither did he. They got to him just in time, and now that forced him to make a decision with his 4th down call.
And they'll go for it. Lance. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Seahawks go for it but can't convert. And the Saints will have the football back. So they've gone for it twice now on 4th down in this game, and both times unsuccessful.
I wish we could hear the headsets now between the head coach and the offensive coordinator. Now that they're 0 for 2. If they get into a 3rd situation, head coach might say, hey, you got anything for this one? Might get radio silence back.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play there, 2nd down. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. That's going to be caught by Kirk. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be 3rd and less than a yard.
Brings up 3rd down.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the first.
Someone's been having a good game so far. And you know something? A lot has been power running. They decided to turn him loose again on 3rd down, didn't they?
They did indeed. He delivered the tough yards. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Looking long for Westbrook. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete.
I'm sure that pass was incomplete as they made an attempt to get a big one downfield. But that's okay because the second part of that is if you don't get the completion, at least you've told the defense you're trying to stretch them out a little bit, and they may have to change accordingly.
That they'll throw here to his running back. And some room to maneuver. And they're going to get this up to midfield.
So many times in my career, I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Meanwhile, the throw here is complete. And they'll get this down to around the 47-yard line. We've hit the 2-minute mark of the second quarter, 14-7.
Timing is so important on a route like this because he's going to line up out right and then cut straight across the field. I think the ball might have come out a count or two too late because by the time he was able to secure it, not much of a chance to turn it upfield.
Throwing again on second down, but this time it's incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 35. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
And he'll be taken down at about the 22-yard line. Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Back to throw again. That's to Cook out of the backfield. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number one. Here's 2nd and 9. A 10th carry in the game for Cook. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Week 7 action, and we've got a 7-point game here in the second quarter. This offense, and he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. James Cook on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Saints will extend their lead in the final minute of the half. Extra point by Bass, up and good. And it's now 21-7. After the touchdown, Bass to kick it away. No return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
They'll keep it on the ground again here. And he'll just keep 2 hands on the football as he'll be taken down after a short pickup. And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. In motion left is Watkins. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. So it's halftime here in New Orleans with the Saints out in front. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach.
Welcome back. Halftime over. We are ready for quarter number 3. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gordon. The Seahawks trailing, but they will have possession first here as we resume action in the third quarter. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. In the first half, they struggled a little bit to keep pace offensively, CD, down 2 scores here. So how do they make some changes coming out of the locker room?
Well, they've studied what they did in the first half. They've seen what the defense is throwing at them. Now they want to have a plan of attack against it. So you come out, you're not going to get all the points back on one drive, but get started on it. Start chopping into that lead, and maybe it'll inspire your defense to help out as well.
And down right around the 32-yard line, 4 yards on the pickup.
Well, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route. And he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they convert on 3rd and 3 with a nice gain of 7 yards.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Now Lance.
And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down. They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Throwing his Lance on 3rd down.
Over the middle, complete. It's Walker. And they're able to stop him short. On 3rd and 6, they'll only pick up 4.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Here we go.
Lance to throw for it on 4th down.
He finds his man, complete. That's Porter.
He's got room at the 30, and he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
They get 25 yards out of that one, and the Seahawks are going to have a first down.
Lance looking to throw it.
And he's going to be taken down. Pressure gets there back at the 39-yard line. So they will take the sack instead of the penalty.
And it takes another down off the series. But the biggest one of all, do you want to tell the guy who just got the sack that it no longer counts?
No.
No, not at all.
Now to the ground, here's Walker.
And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage with a flag down here to boot. So they may back up further. Now, they had stopped him for a loss on the run anyway, so they'll decline that.
It's almost a good psychological advantage, isn't it? You created a penalty, and you still couldn't gain yards against us. No way we need to take that one.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive.
Hey, go steal, steal, check steal.
And Lance going to throw.
And he fires one that's intercepted.
Levi Wallace with a pick. And the Saints are going to have it here as they'll start at their own 7.
So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the 3rd quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this 3rd quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down.
4 yards on the pickup. 2nd and 6.
On play action, they'll throw.
Swinging this out wide here for Cook.
And he is out of bounds, able to get it across the 20-yard line. The Saints first down there on a gain of 11.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Second and 11. Throw left side complete. That's Cook. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for third down.
Everyone has their strengths, able to move to their right or their left, being able to throw the football. So that means you've got to work on both, because you never know which way you're going to get flushed by pressure. In this situation, able to escape to his left and makes an accurate throw.
And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. 4 yards on the pickup, good enough to extend the drive. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw.
That's into a crowd and intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a... Seahawks are going to take possession of the football.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 33-yard line.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And he'll get what he can up the middle. 3 yards. That'll bring up second down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
With how the coverage was positioned, up was about the only spot the quarterback had to try and deliver that pass. Just put a little too much height on it, incomplete.
In danger of squandering their great field position as they come up on a 3rd and 7.
Play action. Now it's Lance.
And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Carlton Davis picks it. There he goes left side. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown.
And Charles, for this offense, those interception woes that kind of had in the first half have now followed them into the second half. And for this defense, they take advantage, turn that into a pick 6.
And that defense is in a spot now where they're thinking about ways to close this game out. As confidently as they've been playing, I expect them to do exactly that.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air.
Their catch made at the 24-yard line. The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here we go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Calling a gain of 3 on the play. And 3rd and 8 now.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense, because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did getting to him quickly and holding him to a short gain.
They'll bring a receiver in motion right.
From the gun on 3rd down, Lance repeated the last play, finding Walker. And he is going to have a Seahawks first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch. Back now here live in New Orleans. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4.
And Walker once more. And some solid footwork there as he'll take this down to about the 38. Boy, 203 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Lance. Catch is made by Metcalf.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw.
This one goes underneath to Walker. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. That's now 4 completions in a row. A good bounce back following the interception last drive.
Certainly not letting it affect him, that's for sure. And we all know interceptions are going to happen. So the big trick, don't let it affect you going forward. Most of the good quarterbacks, they just tell the ball boy, get that one off the rotation, give me a fresh ball, and let's go. He's got his offense moving again.
Out of the huddle now for play number 9 on this drive. This is 3rd down and 8.
Working from the gun. Lance
looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Watkins. They'll try to run it in, going option right. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle.
Trey Lance
scoring on the keeper from 6 yards out.
And the Seahawks have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th.
Extra point right down the middle. And that cuts the lead to 28-14. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock.
Kenny Nwagu now out of his end zone. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20.
The Saints take over 1st and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started.
Well, don't look now, but they've got a little bit of a battle on their hands again. Back to a 2-score game. The interception that led to a touchdown. You'd have to think they're a little more careful here if they do indeed try to throw the football.
Yeah, and I was a little surprised by the last throw. You know, that type of throw, this type of a game, I'm going to be very careful about it. Maybe the only throw you make is maybe a toss to your halfback or something like that. Otherwise, take care of the thing and finish this bad boy off.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
Well, you most certainly don't want to go 3 and out here and give the football right back because your friend, Old Momentum, he's wondering if he should change sidelines about right now. And if you don't convert here, guess what? He's going to make the trek to the opposite side, and all of a sudden, you've got a battle on your hands.
They'll get this to Nwagu.
Yeah, boy, he had the marker square in his sights, but a good tackle's going to leave him about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for 4th down.
Brandon, it certainly looked like they had that play defended well, but it still almost worked. Got it to the running back. He wound up getting really good yardage out of it, but it was 3rd and long, and they were able to rally and stop him before he could get to the marker.
They'll set up a throw, and now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. The Saints' decision to go for it backfires. And the Seahawks, they'll get the football back in outstanding field position.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And this is caught by Watkins. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there, 21 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there. And when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
end zone, caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Quez Watkins, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. The extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and they'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory.
So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 48-yard line. Cook up the gut. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play, 2nd down. I'm sure that's going to be the formula. Just keep the ball on the ground, keep that clock moving.
And when you have the lead this late in the game, above all, stay in bounds. Yes, take care of the football. Yes, gain yardage, but stay in bounds and let that clock tick.
In motion right is Thomas. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And they finally catch up to him and take him down. Jeez, where was he going? A huge loss there. He couldn't escape the pressure, and they go backwards in a big way there on the sack. Now on 3rd and forever, he'll look to throw. Looking long for Thomas. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Kobe Bryant. And the Seahawks are going to take possession of the football. So, my goodness, I would have thought this possible not too long ago, but that turnover there means we have a game again.
Yeah, it's been a completely different team here in the 2nd half. I just wonder on the other side of the field where the starters telling the backups, get ready, you're going to get some playing time. And now guess what? Hope they didn't cut the tape off of their wrists and ankles. They've got to go back out there and play.
Hey, check you.
On 1st and 10, here's Lance. He's going to go for a big play downfield. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. A great play there. His 1st touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks are an extra point away from tying this game here in the 4th. Don't forget the extra point. It's up and good. And, partner, we've got a tie game here in the 4th. So right back to square one. Tied at 28 as he kicks it away. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. They no longer have the lead after that last touchdown, all tied up in the 4th quarter, and a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Tariq Woolen in on the stop.
That was a particularly nice play because not only was it his job to force the play inside, he was actually able to fold inside himself and make the tackle ultimately. Very nicely done.
Another tote for the workhorse this afternoon. It's Cook. He takes this for 3 to the 29.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. Got an open man. It's Olave. And he is going to have a Saints first down as they're able to get the third down conversion. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. To throw is Jones. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Quandre Diggs. 20. 5. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. And now both of these defenses have something to brag about following this one, each with a pick today.
They are even there, but we still have to decide a winner, don't we, partner? And what they really want to brag about after this one is getting that W. The turnovers are great. Can they make plays now that tilt the balance in their favor?
They do tack on the extra point as well, and they will take a 7-point lead.
Saints 28.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. And no thought to bring this one out. He'll just go down to a knee, and he'll take over at the 25. Getting set for their next drive, the New Orleans offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. Back to throw. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. The Saints going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Back to throw. Flush to his right. And that one going to come up short. Low throw. So he's unable to complete it there, and just not the game that you would expect from him. He's been off the mark really start to finish.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what exactly is going on. Is he a little bit dinged up here, or is he just off just by a bit? Maybe he can get it back in this situation. He'll need to.
Third down. Here's a run by Cook. He's able to chew up 8 yards on the carry there, but still, fourth down upcoming.
Well, the guys who are paid to make the tackles deserve some kudos there, but I think they deserve even bigger ones because in that situation, they had to be thinking pass. Loosened up defense, going to pass coverage. Instead, maybe they surprised them a little bit running the ball, yet they rallied to it and stopped them well short of a first down.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And he's brought down. Can't do anything with a football. It's a sack and a turnover on downs. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that will force a turnover on downs.
Ready.
They'll start with the option. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Here's Walker, and maybe a measure
measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as the clock will stop with 45 seconds left to go in the game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. Again, Walker. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Only a couple yards there, and that's going to set up a long 3rd and goal.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. They'll come out in the pistol. They'll run for it. It's Walker going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or 2. The run on 4th and goal from the 4 is stopped short. And the Saints able to come up with a goal line stand.
Let's go.
The Saints offense on the field ready to get their drive started. Charles, still a one-possession game. Remember, it could have been 2 after they opted to go for it on 4th down in their own territory. Didn't get it, but their defense holds strong, and so this is a huge possession coming up here.
You're certainly right about that, partner. And a lot of people look at them going for it on 4th down as a failure when they didn't get it. But there's also their way of saying, hey, we have confidence in our defense because they went out and held them, got the ball right back for them. So, nice stand for them. Momentum can swing back to their side if they have a good drive here.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. They'll look to throw. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And based on the last 2 play calls we just witnessed, the word conservative is not in their playbook. Incomplete, and then they decide to throw deep from this point on the field. That's a team that's really getting after it.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. He'll look to throw. And that's intercepted yet again, and that could be the backbreaker. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his 2nd season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Here we go.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Up the middle, here's Walker. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. That was an excellent come-from-behind victory, Charles, especially there in the 4th quarter. Both offense and defense were clicking. They're going to feel good about this one.
Boy, are they ever, because the deficit they faced certainly wasn't small. They obviously did not give up on that one, and in the end, how about that come-from-behind victory? They'll cherish this one for a while.
So for the Seahawks, they remain one of the hottest teams out there as the win moves them to 6-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, for the Saints, the loss drops them back to 4-3 so far. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Carolina Panthers.